Live from Super Bowl 60, it's Chris and Juan's Super Serious Podcast.
Hello.
Yup. You're probably listening to this tomorrow. By then, the Seahawks have beaten the Patriots.
We don't dare drop on the same day.
Yeah, we do not. We wouldn't dare interfere with our good friend Bad Bunny, friend of the show. His performance of a lifetime. Get down, dude. Sorry, guys. It's my dog. He's bothering Juan. Get down.
He's excited, man.
He's excited for episode 2. Like all of our loyal 22 fans on Instagram are. We've received some critical feedback as far as episode 1 goes. Okay, yes. The one thing we agreed we will do moving forward is a lot of you complain about no video format. We're going to do video. That. Yeah, we're going to go with video format, maybe episode 3.
Well, the thing is, we didn't want them to like us for our good looks.
Yes,
right?
Yeah,
right.
We didn't want them to turn off the fucking YouTube channel, the fucking video, because of how hideous we look and how undressed we are. No, we'll do video format. That's the one thing everybody was telling me to do. Or to do a visual, and I was thinking just our logo bouncing around like the DVD logo.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Or like when we reference something, like pop it on the screen.
Right, that would be interesting.
But video's the best. I think we'll do that eventually.
All right. Well, that's the show, folks.
So what do you think of the whole... Did you see that Kid Rock was like doing an alternative?
Oh, yeah. No, Turning Point, you would say.
Oh, Turning Point?
They set that up. They're doing the halftime show.
But yesterday I was seeing they canceled because a lot of the headliners were canceling.
Oh, yeah. I saw Kid Rock, I think, canceled too.
Yeah. They canceled because like it was politically charged, this and that. But like
Eric Dickerson, he used to be a player for the Rams. He was saying that Bad Bunny shouldn't have been the halftime show because he's not an American citizen. Right. But obviously, he's like
Puerto Rican.
Yeah, Puerto Rican, and he was saying like people don't. Hold up, Snoopy, stop.
But I don't know. Would you like that? Kind of reminds me of like you've seen the clips of Megan Thee Stallion performing at the DNC, or not the DNC, Clinton's campaign.
Yeah, no, it was at Kamala's campaign.
Oh, Kamala's campaign. Yeah. But like that. What would you call that? Like it's obviously cringe, but like why is it like?
Well,
like what is? Are they trying too hard? Or
wait, what are you saying? Well, because I don't think Bad Bunny is cringe. I think
no, because the Kid Rock alternative
thing
was cringe.
Yes.
Right? So like, I wouldn't put them in the same category, but they kind of elicit the same reaction to me, where it's like, are you trying too hard, or like?
No, I agree.
What is cringe about it?
I think there's a like guilt by association, because you see Megan Thee Stallion performing for Kamala, and it feels a little bit shoved down your throats.
Because, and shallow, like
because like, Megan Thee Stallion's obviously beautiful, friend of the show. Not
anymore.
Right? No, she is. We just haven't. We've lost touch, but she's still here and there. But when you see things like that, it's kind of a connotation, or like I said, guilt by association, because it just seems so unnatural. It seems forced, almost as if these artists are, we know we like them, so because they're like these politicians, we're indebted to them too.
Or you think it's because you think the cringe is coming from the artist or from the people that set up the event? Because I see it as the people setting up the event, the artists too, though, because I could see it from maybe Megan Thee Stallion's perspective, like not loud.
No, I was fixing the...
I could see it like, maybe she's not really about what the DNC is like offering or whatever, or what Clinton's offering, but she chooses to still do it regardless. I don't know.
I think, well, in the context of the election, it was because we want a Dem in office Trump.
Over Trump.
Yeah, but when it comes to like a musical performance, someone like Kid Rock isn't pulling any strings. And Bad Bunny is. It's kind of pissing me off how many, like, because I'm not trying to insert identity politics, but because he's Latino, people are saying he doesn't represent what Americans want to listen to, and obviously to some extent, sure, that may be true, because players obviously want Lil Wayne up there, or someone more representative of the targeted audience. But I think Bad Bunny is great. I think he's gonna kill it. I think he's gonna do well. Yeah, I think he's gonna do.
Like I mentioned, dude. Yeah, I'm not even like a big Bad Bunny fan.
Right. I'm not a fan. Like I'm not a big Bad Bunny fan either. Right. I think he makes good music. I think he's good at what he does.
You think he should like? Didn't he like win 3-4 grand. I don't know how many grand.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
You think it was like
deserved
fair, or he was lucky getting glazed?
No, because he's been around for a while. I think he does deserve his flowers.
Right.
I haven't listened to his new album. I liked the album before this one. I thought that one was really good.
Do you listen to the album front to back, or
I
it
do
was
listen
like
to the album front to back.
I haven't heard the new one either. I've just heard the hits.
Front to back, upside down, panties to the side.
Doing tricks on it too.
Yeah, dude. This guy keeps finding new toys every time. Here. Okay. Yeah. So he's doing that.
Who do you think's taking the Super Bowl?
The Seahawks.
The Seahawks?
Yeah, I don't like either team. I'll be honest. I think the Seahawks and the Patriots. I hate the Patriots because.
What did you think of when they played the Rams?
That was when the Seahawks played the Rams.
Yeah.
I thought it was annoying because like the Rams were fucking everything up. Xavier Smith couldn't catch a fucking ball to save his life, and he turned off comments once he fumbled the fucking game.
He turned off comments?
Yeah, he turned off comments
on Instagram.
On Instagram, and
that's hilarious, dude.
What else? The Rams had a terrible defense. I know I don't want to bore the ladies.
I don't really watch. Yeah, I don't really watch. Right, but I guess people that kind of watch, like from a third person's perspective, like the game looked like it was close, but I'm hearing that
it was close.
The Rams had like going into the game, everyone was like, the Rams are not going to win this game.
Right. Well, because earlier in the season, the Rams had a really great record, and then after they played the Seahawks for the second time, they went on like I want to say 5-7 streak. So won 5 games, lost 7, and they made the playoffs at the 5th seed. They almost missed the playoffs completely, and they should have had home field advantage at some point throughout the entire postseason run. They didn't. They fumbled that, and then there was rumors circulating that Matt Stafford wasn't going to take his player option in return for next year. He confirmed that he did because he just won MVP for the first time in his career, and I believe. It's more than 12 years. Or I'm not sure. Whatever, crucify me. But but he's really good. I think we should win another Super Bowl with him. There's a lot going. Seahawks and Patriots have history. I'm not sure if you knew this, but during Super Bowl 54 or when they last played each other in the Super Bowl, the Seahawks were literally in the end zone, and they could have ran the ball to score a touchdown, win the game. Instead, Pete Carroll, the coach at the time.
Wait, how many years ago was this?
I want to say this was 2012 or 2013.
Was this with Marshawn Lynch?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay, I remember I did.
Yeah, and it was with.
Yeah, everyone was saying just run it through, and they tried to run
Seahawks
play.
should have ran the ball, and they didn't. And then Brady won.
Yeah, right.
And then.
Oh, so they haven't made a postseason run like this since then?
Since then, yeah. They were and if the Seahawks had won, then they would have gone back to back.
Damn,
so
that's crazy.
yeah. So the Seahawks haven't been back since then. Sam Darnold, the quarterback for the Seahawks, played for the Vikings. They would always come up short, losing the championship series. Now he's with the Seahawks and making his first Super Bowl. Right. So good narratives there if you're into that. Yeah.
But I guess being in Angelino, baseball is a must, right?
Baseball's king.
Baseball's a must.
You got to work for the God. Who else was the
Clippers or Lakers?
Lakers, dude.
Nice,
if you're in Los Angeles and listening to this, and if your teams aren't the Lakers, Dodgers, Rams, and the Kings, you might as well kill yourself.
There's a lot of LA people that are not down with the Rams, dude.
Yeah, well, obviously because a lot of them
grew, right? Yeah.
No, because they came back because they were here with the Raiders were here, but a lot of LA fans, a lot of like the Cholos, they really like the Raiders and they really like the association, and it's almost stereotypical for a Raiders fan to have an ankle monitor on their leg. So
it's always the Dodgers and the Raiders, the crossover between those two. You watch soccer too, right?
Yes, I watch Arsenal.
We're both Gunners.
We're both Gunners. That's right.
Like Mamdani.
Like Zara Mamdani. Yep. Another friend of the show. They're first place still in the Premier League.
Yeah, they're first place. Yeah. They won their game yesterday, 3-0. So
nice, dude.
They're doing well.
So they're gonna choke away the.
I know.
They'll choke away
the table position. Yeah, but they've been doing really good, man. Like 5 years ago, who would have thought? Like when they were under Wenger, that they would be first place for such a long time too.
What would you think Bad Bunny roots for anyone? Oh, by the way, if you root for the 49ers, you're also lame. That's another team a lot of SoCal fans went for because the Raiders left, so they went to the 49ers. So they represent California, yeah. But they're in San Francisco, and then they're always chanting "Beat LA," but they're also Dodger fans. Makes no sense.
Do I think Bad Bunny roots for anyone?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, shit, no. It's
probably
a neutral. Okay, so that music in general, do you gravitate towards? I don't know what you would call it. No. It's Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah,
but
it's Puerto Rican.
It's not just Puerto Rican. It's.
No te gusta mi música, Juan. Soy yo Bad Bunny.
Did you see him on Sneaker?
No. Did you see him on the New York Times?
No, I didn't see him.
He did a pretty good interview on the New York Times.
Did he have a good, interesting perspective?
I didn't think he had an interesting perspective, but he talked about Latinos enjoying his music who weren't Puerto Rican. And he was saying how Mexicans are gravitating towards the dialect of Puerto Rican culture. And I haven't personally seen that. But
I haven't seen that either.
But it's interesting.
It's possible. Maybe we're like, I mean, I don't know if he hangs around in New York or LA or I don't know. Maybe his experience is different than ours, but I haven't seen that as much.
Right.
So Spanish, you don't listen to much Spanish at all, or?
Oh, no. I mean, if you want to kind of like cumbias or something.
Cumbias, yeah, like older ones?
I like older cumbias, yeah. Okay. And like antiguas. I do like antiguas a lot, but not like...
Natanista?
Corridos and banda. I detest them.
Yeah, really? Dude, this is interesting. Okay, what is it?
I detest them. I think it's, for me, the culture that I grew up with, and because being Guatemalan, there was a lot of shame in not being a Mexican, and then that was kind of shoved into my face, and I would always be surrounded by people who made this culture like a culture of this is what represents Latino America,
right?
And
your experience in LA, right?
Right, that's my experience in LA, and I don't mean this. This obviously comes off. It might even come off as racist. I hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
The truth is, it's just never been my cup of tea.
It's just it's interesting to think about, like, because you always think of American nationalism as like a negatives, right? Like, oh, these are like Nazis and shit, and but Mexico's its people are very nationalist.
Yes, they are very nationalist.
And here in LA, that's not perceived as a bad thing,
right? Well,
generally speaking,
I'd say now it is. I'd say a lot of the MAGA crowd think Mexican nationalists are a threat to the country, or that the connotation is go back to where you came from. If you,
but historically it hasn't,
right?
And maybe now it isn't. But I mean, I would have been it in the same category as whatever. And it's interesting to think about the negative side that, like you mentioned, I never. But like, okay, so from one Mexican genre to the other, there's no distinction in that, and that criticism applies for any Mexican type of music, right?
Sure.
Which you mentioned. But like from one genre to the other, would you say, like for example, me, I like corridos and stuff.
Sure.
And it's obviously talking about like selling drugs, like killing people, like fucking bitches, whatever. And it's like, it's very analogous to rap.
That's fair.
It's very analogous to rap,
right?
But I see the Mexican one more like as a negative thing. Like I don't want, like, it's cool. I listen to the music, so maybe there's a dichotomy here. But like, it's obviously not promoting good things. But it's the same as rap. Though. I would put it in the same category as rap.
I think that's also another thing,
which is what fucking MAGA people would say. Republicans,
sure,
yeah.
But I also grew up with. Well, okay. The thing is, I grew up a nerd, a goody two shoes, you know. So a lot of even a lot of what I hear in that music,
SDA, obviously.
I'm not really. It's funny because you would say that, but a lot of the SDA church listens to corridos and banda. And
but like low key though,
yes, of course. Bro, a lot of them eat pork too. Like I'm gonna be real.
Or they drink on the regular too, like,
it's insane. We'll get to that episode, guys. Believe me.
Yeah.
But there is. I grew up with that stereotype in my mind that these songs are representative of a culture that I don't belong in. My mom would tell me that's not who you are, and that's completely opposite of what you're supposed to be. And another thing is, obviously, I'm not Mexican, so there's not a relatability factor to it. And I think growing up, that stuck with me, and I kind of have this association that the music is just annoying, but I also find it very atmospheric when you obviously go to mercados and you go to fucking big Super King and
like when I don't know,
Big Saver.
Obviously like the newer, like the ever since like the mumble rap era, I don't really listen to rap as much. And then I'll hear like it's especially happens when someone's recording a video and you hear the rap in the background,
right?
And I have that same feeling where it's like this is just kind of annoying. Like it just the same beat. Like
I feel that way.
And then like if you really think about it, you could probably apply that to a lot of music that you just don't you don't resonate with. But that's interesting though. So is there a strong like Guatemalan, because I don't really hear about like this thing's Guatemalan, this thing's Guatemalan.
Okay, that's another thing, because I could delve into this for another like a whole day. Like, bro, when I was little, dude, I wanted to be Mexican so bad. Because that's everyone around you. That's everyone around you. Yeah. And I felt so discriminated against for being Guatemalan. Like they're like, what's that? Literally, Koreatown back then was just, there was a Chapin bakery. That was it, and it's still there. I heard it's just like super whack now, but now you go there and there's like a huge culture of like Salvadoreños and Guatemaltecos and
do you relate more to like Salvadorians or it's the same thing?
It's the same.
Are they very nationalist too? Would you say?
When you put them up against a Mexican, very. But generally, no. They've always been really friendly to my people, and I think, being just Central American as a kid, you're kind of seen as different or weird for being Guatemalan, as if you don't belong. And there's also that culture of machismo that doesn't apply to you
as much.
And
that's not. You wouldn't say it's as big in.
It's not as big in Guatemala, but when, especially like again going back to the SDA church, a lot of Mexican machismo. Older men, they, even if they're not your son, they put you to work or just say like, prove you're a man. There's a lot of that in the church.
Oh, that would happen.
Yeah, that happened a lot in church. So that's another reason. Yeah, I felt compelled.
Like, well, when it was like maintenance day or something.
Yeah, or when it would take a while. It's funny too, because Caesar, my friend in Washington, funny story. He grew up. He's Costa Rican and Salvadoran.
And he's SDA too, right?
He's SDA too.
Okay. Seventh-day Adventist for the listeners.
Seventh-day Adventist. When he was younger, there would be an hermano who would tell him, when he was like 12, he said, he'd be like, "Cesar, ya tenido sexo."
Like asking?
Yeah, and then he was like, "What?" He's like, "I'm a kid." Like,
yeah.
He's like, "Cuando tenía tu edad, yo estaba con mucho mujer." I was like, "Bro, what?" Like,
it's funny because the church says you should get... You should have after you get married, right? Which is hilarious.
Right, yeah. But it's funny being a little kid and hearing that, because I in the same context, I have that experience, but in
like in a different field.
Correct.
Different field. It's interesting too that I don't even. This is like another topic too, but it's interesting how they don't really say it out loud, but they're not really pro women. Giving or talking about anything, a sermon, what have you, up in the I remember we had a couple years ago, maybe a little bit more, we had a woman giving a sermon, and there was like some older ladies visiting that day for some random reason, and they walked out when they saw she was going up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like, oh, like,
damn, dude,
what is it like? And it's like internalized too, because it's women.
The dudes are like, woo.
Yeah. She was like, "No, I'm not having this. Like, it says you're not supposed to have women."
Wow. When was this?
This was, I want to say, less than 5 years ago.
What? Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah, I was still in college. I remember.
What the fuck? Was there a controversy for that?
Well, she wasn't a regular. She was just, and they just decided to leave.
At my church, I know that they'd make that a controversy. Yeah. Say what you will, but they would talk about it behind.
But yeah. If it was like a member, I think it would be a thing. But it was just a couple people visiting, and they just decided to walk out. So, and then the lady still like gave her sermon and stuff. So it was it worked out in the end, I guess. But yeah. But that's true. There is a machismo thing, and I really don't know if, like, because I'm sure it has its own dynamics, right? Mm-hmm. But I've also noticed that women, and I don't know if it's a result of the culture itself or they're adding to the culture, but I think women that are very traditional and Mexican, they also want their men to be very masculine. Yeah, I've noticed.
I would say that too.
So it's kind of like a relationship that keeps perpetuating itself too. You know?
Yeah. Growing up, that culture was like at odds with me, and it's another reason why I didn't really like the corrido and banda culture too. I was raised by a single mother. Like a lot of the parasocial dynamics I have and interactions I have with, and I was raised by a woman in general.
Right.
I was told a lot, maybe just very progressive for my time, but it's okay that I'm not the strongest man in the world, you know?
Right. Along like these parameters, like correct. Physically you don't have to be this.
Right.
But you identify as a man.
Right. I identify
and in your own way, I'm sure you have your own ways where you're like, this is how I express my masculinity, right? Like I'm assertive when I speak, or
exactly.
It doesn't have to be along the guidelines of like whatever these.
Talk over my woman, tell her she's wrong. Exactly.
That's funny. That's why I had both parents growing up, and my I remember, you know, when you're a kid and you want something or you want to like garner sympathy or whatever, you like will speak in a higher pitched voice or you know what I mean. Whenever I would do something like that, my dad would
shut it down,
yell at me. Yeah, he would scream at me. He'd be like, "What are you doing? You're not a girl." And I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it was for the best. I don't know if it was for the best or not, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. It was really tough, and I associate that a lot with obviously my opinions have changed, but growing up I associated a lot with just Mexican culture in general.
Right.
And I just wanted to be. I found it hard to assimilate because I obviously wasn't Mexican, but I couldn't be Mexican if I tried.
Right.
And I just eventually got comfortable. Not detesting, but being like.
No, but I also noticed growing up you were very into American culture too.
Yeah,
and I don't know if it was like
I was whitewashed.
If it was you like, I want to fall into something, and Guatemalan culture is not really a thing here in LA.
I think that's
so let me fall into
American. Another thing that makes me very whitewashed is I'm an immigrant.
Right.
I think
a dreamer.
I have to try so much harder to be accepted by regular people than I do. Even within my own circle, even when growing up, the guys would make fun of me for the way I sounded, or like the way I would talk, and I'm like, what? Like this
is me.
Yeah, this is me. What are you saying? And it's even in American culture, I think there's that blue collar mentality of this is what a man is supposed to do to provide for the head of the house.
Right.
But I also felt comfort because I grew up in the Obama era, dude. A lot of stigmas changed.
Yeah, and I feel like stigmas have changed, but a lot of it is you just can't be the provider anymore. Like one household can't have one person.
Yes,
like
times have changed.
And I think the culture everywhere is going to change. Like in Mexico, as it becomes more of a first world country, that reality I think is going to affect culture in a way that it's not realistic for one to have a household to have one head.
You're right.
To one head.
I mean, but you'd even argue that I'm not sure this is what conservatives are threatened by. I'm not saying I'm threatened by it or that there's anything wrong with this, but you see a lot more women or women identifying people saying that they can live off their independence. And now I'm, as a man, telling myself, I don't think I can live on my own, you know? Whereas women, you see women being more and more capable of being able to survive on their own and saying, I don't need a man to do so and so. They're an accessory at a certain point in my life, not necessity, which is fine. Obviously the wage gap has lessened. There's more woman in power. But as a man, or if you were to see this as some right wing redneck, you'd obviously feel a bit threatened or feel a bit offended, and maybe even detested by society. But in my position, being single now, I'm almost like, damn, like that's it for me.
I'm cooked, Chad.
Yeah, like I'm done. Like
now, well, yeah, I think the realities are changing, and I don't know, like there's always. I mean, I don't know a lot about biology, but I am assuming there's always going to be 50%, close to 50% women, 50% men. So I think the realities are just going to have to shift. I think there's no way that you can continue. There's no way you can continue with the expectations. I think they're going to have to shift. And the reality is like as like AI and labor gets more specialized, and brute force is less of a factor in like 200 years ago, right? Like it would make sense if men on average are stronger on average for them to make more money because they have more output or whatever, right? But now that stuff really doesn't matter with machines and stuff, and I think it's gonna get even worse, not worse, but it's just gonna evolve in its own way, and it's just gonna require the social expectations to change along with it.
I think that's why conservatives are so stuck on the concept of the nuclear family, even though I think it's dead. And there's more. It makes more sense, and I don't think liberals or leftists in general really know how to explain or market this message that the nuclear family is dead, but the working class still exists, and that it's.
But when you define nuclear family, you mean as like the man, the head of the household,
right,
like earning more money.
Correct. Okay. That's exactly what I mean. And the stay-at-home mom, the children being 1 or 2 children, white picket fence, single-family housing, like whatever. I think that dream is dead. I think Americans have evolved, culture has evolved, and that power dynamics have basically shifted. And nowadays, it's
and then I guess a lot of it ties back to the dating stuff we were talking about earlier, where it's the expectations are on one side, but like the reaction hasn't made its way yet on the other side. Like also, are we to expect women to be less feminine than probably?
Yeah,
I think so. And then or the feminine element be more of a surface level, like just your aesthetic look, right? Which I think is definitely something that I think will happen in the future. I mean, I don't know how many years on the line this will be, or if there will be some kind of adjustment that we don't think about or we can't see yet, that'll revert things back to where they were 100 years ago. Who knows?
Right.
But I think that's less likely, basically.
I mean, you have Donald Trump in office right now.
Yeah.
The idea that I think MAGA's wants that idea to be a reality right now. I don't think it's happening, and I think a lot of people are displeased because it's not happening. And there's an identity crisis with individuals, not even within families, as to where do I stand in America. I think as like a Latino, I also feel that way. Just on the progressive end, there's the markets like. Not to sound like a loser, but the dating market almost leaves you wondering, or it leaves you not just second guessing, but thinking it's a dead end.
Yeah, like am I chopped down?
Right. The uncle cried chop.
Uncle cried chop. Exactly. But I guess going back to what you were talking about, I think a big benefit to my having been friends with you throughout high school was that I did like, because everyone else was very much like about their culture, about being Hispanics. I mean, there's a lot of positives to it, but I think there's also positives in the American culture too, like speaking properly, like not, and those are things that I picked up from our friendship too. And I was like, well, I would listen to you talk about politics and stuff that mattered, and I'm like, like how come I don't know any of this? How come I don't think about any of this? Right. And that like prompts me more to like, oh, let me. I'm curious about this.
Yeah, I think what triggered me was. This is gonna sound so lame, but obviously Bernie Sanders. Bernie in 2016.
Triggered you?
I think in 2016, hearing Bernie talk about immigrants like being a deciding factor as to how America moves forward, I felt seen. I felt represented. I felt as if I mattered. And that made me want to say, hey, I already have these attributes and someone's finally recognizing them. Right. How do I apply them towards a future I envision? Yeah. And then you have dumb bitches like Hillary who fucked us all up because they thought that identity politics was the winning play towards a general election, and it just completely collapsed my worldview as to why, like, whether I mattered.
But that's the thing that's interesting, I think, about Trump and the right now too, is that they're also eliciting this feeling that you have now with people in Middle America that feel like their jobs are going away, that they're not educated, and that they're seeing now, I guess. That's their perspective.
Dude, I have thought to myself this week many times, it would be so easy to just say I'm an incel and hate women and say these stupid, and be it identifying with a culture that is so repulsive and so stupid and loserish, and then I'm because it's like that. I'm that audience right now. I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm gonna be real. Yeah, that's.
But okay, let's say
I also tell myself that's not me. I'm not a hateful person.
Do you think that's? Do you think that's because of the way you think, or let's say you didn't have any education. Let's say you didn't have a pretty decent job. Let's say you were working at a grocery store or something. Do you think the incel would be more attractive?
Good point. Yeah.
Well, I certainly think I'm in that boat. Like, would I be strong enough? Like, I want to say I would be, and I would have the same perspective I do now. But let's say I was like
I think so, but I also think to myself, there's nothing attractive or smart about this that would change the outcome of me. Because truth be told, I want a girlfriend. I want a wife. I want a family. I'm almost 30.
This is the incel pod.
But the unfortunate reality is I don't have any of those things, and my response isn't woman bad, sex bad, Ku Klux Klan good, Nazism good, Trump forever.
And the thing is that if you go online, you do see some pretty crazy takes from girls.
No, there are women who also feel
but
that.
You have to think, like, this is not representative of the truth, and, like, maybe they're also, like, responding to signals of social media and whatnot.
The thing is, too, social media is such a vocal minority. You see a lot of doomerism and shit that chips your perspective in a why even bother mentality.
Yeah. Or like sometimes you'll see like a reel with like a million views, and it's like a negative take.
Yes.
And then you go to the profile, and then you see all of their videos, and you see that negative take is the only one with millions of views.
Right.
The other ones are like pretty like decent average views that they have like maybe at most hundreds of thousands of views, but you see that negative one has like a bunch of reactions, and then maybe they're just reacting to their own market signals around them.
I think something else that culture has kind of, or at least pop culture has made, is they've associated being positive with being cringe. You know, like saying that, oh, you got it, like, you matter, you have a
well,
great life
maybe that's
ahead
also
of you.
just around our age range too. Maybe that's why you see like boomer content and you think it's cringe. It's positive and whatnot.
But I see that. I feel a lot about millennials. You know, where it's like Donald Trump has done the unspeakable. It's time we act. And
did you see Kamala had like an announcement this week?
Oh, I know. Yes. Oh my god.
Her announcement was that her tag changed.
Yeah, it was like Kamala 67. Yeah, headquarters _67. Oh my lord.
And that was one of the things that they had posted. Like, you could just see the comment was like, or the tag in the bottom was like, oh, like Trump can't even pronounce these words, and it's like he's obviously just like enunciating them in a certain way. Yeah. And it's like, dude, they're trying to copy the playbook, but they're not doing it right.
Did you see the controversy with Trump retweeting?
Oh yeah, the monkeys. Yeah.
And did you see Bill Maher talk about it? He's like, folks, he's making a parody of The Lion King, okay? And if you guys are okay, this is what pisses me off about him. He's like, if liberals are okay with videos of Charlie Kirk being shot down in the street, being made fun of, they should be okay with depicting Obama as the monkeys. And then the crowd's like, woo! Yeah, and I'm like...
What does he get in those crowds, man?
I don't know. But that's the thing. Who the fuck is on the left genuinely saying Charlie Kirk should have died, like on a platform scale, you know? Like, sure, you have your
and that's what the right is saying. That's what the left is saying.
That is exactly what they're saying.
And then, well, the thing is that they'll take one or two like influencers that said that,
right,
and then they'll apply it.
And that's
to overall,
that's the generalization of the Democratic Party. And then you have Bill Maher's dumb old ass saying that it's okay to depict the Obamas as monkeys, and it's like, no, dude, like black honestly, Americans have a history of being like, that's Jim Crow and
honestly, I think it's like free speech if some rando person did that, right? But we're talking about the fucking president, bro.
Exactly. Like, have some fucking decency.
Right, yeah.
Or it's like when Rob Reiner died, the director, and he's like,
yes.
He deserved. Hashtag, or it's like, probably another victim of Trump derangement syndrome.
He did say that.
I was like, dude, like, that.
Hey, time and a place. Right, that was not the time or the place.
Save it for the laugh factory or something, dude.
That's hilarious, dude.
Yeah, it's...
Dude, what do you think about, I guess, that macho culture, like, in terms of, like, having friends, like, having other male friends? Like, do you think like, I certainly felt like, when I'm like, oh, hey, I'm going to go hang out with my friend Chris, or, like, we're going to go somewhere or whatever, like, we're going to go to a movie theater or something, you want to watch a movie. I don't even feel like when I tell if my dad asks me and I tell him, he's like, oh, okay. But I feel like like he thinks like, why is he going with another dude, you know? Like, why isn't he? Which is funny, like...
I know what you mean, but I don't think about that.
You don't think about it?
I don't think about it because it's so normalized to me. Yeah. And I hate it, again, not to sound like a loser, but I probably am. My friends right now are literally just you and Caesar, and it's just two dudes, you know?
Yeah.
That's it. You guys are the only people I hang out with. They're like, what am I gonna say? I feel more dishonest telling someone I'm hanging out with some woman I met off a dating app, you know, or someone or it's like absolutely no interest.
Or it's like if you're gonna hang out with your homie, it doesn't have to just be like drinking and like watching a fucking soccer game or a football game or something. Why can't we just hang out? Like it feels less manly to hide the fact that you like, hey, I want to hang out with my homie. Like it feels less manly to hide that, and like it seems more insecure about your
yes, I agree,
perspective as a male to hide that.
Exactly. I don't think about that. So to me, it's just water.
It's just how it is, right? Yeah.
That's how I live, and I'm okay with it. You know, there's nothing that I don't think that, and I haven't had anyone go up to me in the street and say, "You guys are fucking gay," like for like just for seeing us hang out together. So
yeah, especially now when we go to Silver Lake. Right?
Yeah, right. And it's because I go out to the streets too. I see that with other people too. I see them going out with dudes. Like it's not, or it's rare if I see a couple, and if I do, I'm obviously jealous, but
yeah. No, I get what you mean. What do you think about and this was a clip that we saw earlier.
This is a good one.
What do you think about people that say if you're friends with people from high school, you're a weirdo?
I think that's some loser shit, dude. I feel blessed to still know people from high school because I think the longevity is almost a good look on the personality resume.
Right.
It's saying that you're loyal and that you're able to maintain long friendships. It's like saying if you're still friends with people you met on the set of Curb Your Enthusiasm, then you're a loser, you know. But that's who you make jokes with.
You're still friends with people from high school. I feel like that's kind of weird because you're still stuck in the past. In this era, you're not willing to grow. You're not willing to let go. And I'm just like, you know, like with people that have no friends, I'm like, they're protecting their energy. They like their peace and they're comfortable being alone. Like it's very inspirational. Those are some strong
inspiration. This is oh my god. Yeah. This is like,
man, her experience was probably like.
She was probably
way
hurt.
Different.
She was also probably very likely hurt because that happened to her, and her mechanism is.
Yeah, the problem is that she's generalizing and saying like, oh.
And there might be an experience where she was obviously felt, or she may have felt betrayed by the people she grew up with, and her copium now is, I don't need them.
Yeah. Which
is, I think, a valid response. Yeah, it's a valid response, but I don't think that's necessarily true because, like I said, these people that you grew up with and people that you know,
and then like there's a lot of value in having friendships with people that you've known for a long time.
Right.
Like they really know.
They know your ins and outs.
Yes, they know you better than someone that you just met, right? Like,
and these people, I think, they're willing to also forgive you for things that they know you are probably
they can humanize you a little bit better.
Humanize they humanize you and they understand you a bit better compared to someone new that I don't know.
Like you and me, right? Like let's say you met someone at you met a friend at work, and you talk about, oh yeah, well I grew up with a single mother, we struggled and stuff, and but I feel like I could see that when I was in high school, and they couldn't. Like obviously if somebody just meets you now, they're just gonna see you as the guy at work that and or I feel like I can humanize you a little bit better because I remember that, and I remember
exactly. Or even if I were to date someone new, if I were to bring that up, I feel that my partner would be like, woe is me.
Like he's victimizing himself.
And I'm like, that's a huge
not a motivating factor. Like it is a motivating factor, but it like affects the way that you see things a lot, I think.
Yes, exactly.
I'm like, I remember when I went through that and
no, but that bitch is so dumb. I don't. She is so spiteful and hateful, and I think I used to be like that. She's like you, right? She's 100% like that. That's why she's paying people that are like that and like inspirational. And yes, and there's obviously some. That's obviously a group she wants to associate with because I think she also associates that with success,
right?
And because a lot of people, especially in our area, are just...
I mean, we know people like this.
Right. We know people like that for sure.
Right.
In Los Angeles, for sure, there's people who just moved here or left behind their high school friends. And the thinking is, because I don't associate with them anymore, I'm not going to be a loser.
Right.
But they still are losers.
Yeah.
And they still are struggling to have dynamics that last or
like that part of them or that tendency that they have, they associate with those people.
Right.
So when those people are gone, their way of thinking is like, oh, well, that tendency's gone with them and I'm not that.
Exactly.
It's not
stuck.
Still them.
I'm not associated. Yeah.
That's not me anymore, but...
Right.
That's not always the case, right?
Even with people I don't talk to from high school anymore, I still maintain a cordial relationship with them. I'm not in the sense of these people should
like
be
spiteful at them or anything. Mm-hmm. Like they didn't do anything. Like,
right. And on the other hand, there are people, I think, where maybe she does have a point, is that there are people from high school who have Peter Pan syndrome and never grew up. And they just remained losers because that's all they know. You know, they don't expand their circle beyond that horizon or beyond the idea that there's anyone beyond high school,
or like people that only date people that they knew from high school.
Right.
So.
Oh, that
comes off loserish.
That's a tough one, right? But no, her friends need to tell her we're sorry and get over it, and she's gonna make a new video.
And it's hilarious because I went to her page and that's her video. Like that's her video that went viral.
You think it's just like a marketing tactic?
It could be, I think. When she starts gaming the system and
when she clips us on her podcast and she's like, these two men have no idea what they're talking about.
It's just a couple bald old men. She won't be saying that when the video comes out.
Right? No, she won't. Yes, video podcast next week. You have a camera for the video audience?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, how do you think it'll work? Like,
I'll set up a tripod here. The only thing is maybe the lighting.
Okay.
I have since we have natural light coming in from a window here, I just have to put a light. I do have extra lights though, so I think it'll work.
Yeah, I have a plug.
And then we can sit right here on the couch.
Yeah, I was thinking right there, sitting on the couch, put it on the coffee table
right there, and then yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll have Jamie sit on the table. And he'll pull up our.
Yeah, but right behind the camera, be like, Jamie, pull up the clip.
Right. Yeah, I think the setup will work.
The Juan Rogan.
Maybe next episode or the fourth.
Right. Don't worry, folks. You'll see our lovely faces and my dog and everything you always dreamed of.
The whole setup right here.
The whole shebang. Wow.
Though I think there'll be a lot to talk about next week.
Yeah, why?
Super Bowl will be over.
Yeah. What else?
Mostly just that, I guess.
Valentine's Day, dude.
No, will it? No, it won't. Oh, it will. It'll be the next
Valentine's Day, dude. You have anything planned for Valentine's Day? Dude?
Not as of yet, man.
No. No plans. Sorry. It's not sorry. Sorry to myself.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what was it? I think before we shot the last episode, we went to a union meeting, right? That you had? Yeah. Not a meeting, but an event.
An event for my union, yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was okay.
Are you like very pro
I'm not
union?
Okay, yes. I am pro union. I don't want this soundbite to come back bite me in the ass if I run for mayor.
That's hilarious.
I am pro union.
Are you pro every union?
I am not pro every union.
Okay, that's the crux of the
right. I think there are intricacies and fine details
100%.
that need to be
yeah
worked out and absolved or amended, especially when established unions or when creating a union to take into consideration, because unions can sometimes
be too powerful. I think,
right, be too powerful. And I'm not trying to say this on the perspective of defending the billionaires,
a free market person?
or being some neoliberal Larry. You look at the LAPD union, police union, unbelievably powerful, unbelievably corrupt, and I would say they completely keeping cops on payroll who just rape, continue to harass their own employees, get away with murder, there's a text message chain this week from Film the Police LA about this guy who I think he was domestic violence against his partner, and he was trying to convince one of his cop partners to get fucked by a dog. I'm not kidding. Yeah, I'm serious. Look it up. It's fucking repulsive, fucking disgusting, sad, and he's still able to be out there. He's protecting the streets.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely like a union problem, but I think it goes much further in terms of like just interest groups in general, like
right.
Any large interest group. Like, I think we've had this conversation before with like NIMBYs.
Yes,
where obviously there's areas where you want more housing and you want more, but the same owners of those areas will say, no, we don't want that, and that's the same thing that raises the price of their homes,
right.
Like where otherwise they would take a hit. So I think that's a focus group thing. I think that's always a focus group, interest group thing, and I think that's generally a problem with.
It's funny you mention that
politics in general.
Right. You could say that there are non-traditional unions like the Homeowners Association, which just makes a set of rules that are so bullshit in order to just have a home that you work hard for to keep on the property and paying towards that.
I think you could think of unions almost as a way of like anything that controls the supply of something, basically.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It controls the supply of one thing.
I wouldn't say control, but I would also say protect.
Yes. Control maybe has a negative connotation,
right?
But basically, it's some level of control.
But I do agree. Yes, control is a good term to associate with it.
Like let's say you applied the labor market, but instead of the supply side, you control the demand side. Would be a monopoly on labor from the owners of the companies or whatever, right?
Sure.
Which you wouldn't want that either. Just because there's a mismatch of power, and it tends to be on the people that demand labor.
Sure.
So
yeah, I think it's tough. I don't want to say that unions should be disbanded, that they don't serve a greater purpose, because they do. I'm blessed to be represented by a union, right? But
like the electricians union, it controls, like, you don't want to just get a random dude doing your electricity. Like, you want some guy that knows his shit.
I just think there needs to be some sort of regulations that aren't where oversight isn't within that union, but but has externalities as well that can say there's something suspicious or wrong going on with this organization that needs to be audited or put into some sort of trial, so that way we don't know that they're acting on behalf of someone else's interest.
Right, and the unions has its own interest.
Exactly.
You don't want, that's what you want to stay away from too powerful.
Right.
Because you go back to the same problem that you had in the beginning.
Yep. Yeah, dude. So this episode was Super Woke Sunday, dude. Super Woke Sunday.
We're going to need a right-wing one coming up.
Chud take.
That's hilarious. Thing.
Chudentine's Day. Maybe Valentine's Day could be the Chud episode.
The Chud episode. It's only right.
The incel episode.
That's funny.
Imagine just going on. Are you talking to anyone right now? Nah. Same, dude.
Yeah.
No. Couldn't if I tried, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You into any books?
We're gonna cut this part off.
No.
No, I was. There's this old book that released in 1936 called. I don't know if you've read it. It's called "How to Make Friends and Influence People."
No. Sounds like it could come out today, dude.
Yeah. No. Well, it gets remakes, and basically it has the same principles, but it just updates the
updated edition.
Yeah, it just updates examples and stuff.
Interesting.
So, it's basically just talking about how people want to be like treated, how they want to feel when they talk to you and stuff, and it's pretty interesting. There's an audiobook on YouTube, like 7 hours long. I'll play.
What do you think about audiobooks, dude?
They're not the same.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not the same, but they're better than.
They also sometimes bore me, or not bore me, but they make me feel more lost.
And right now with AI voiceovers, there's a lot more of them on like YouTube and stuff.
Right.
And those are super boring.
Sure.
Yeah, those are crazy boring. But I think there's a market for them though. Like even if you're a book aficionado, like if you
the AI voiceovers once piss me off because they just seem so corny. And they're so. They're over the top, and they're also very.
They're over the top and monotone at the same time to me.
Yes, and they also feel very. I mean, obviously it's fake, but they feel fake. I don't want something to feel fake, if the attractability is that something else is doing the work for it.
Yeah, but like, let's say you're driving. I guess the same space that a podcast would have. You're driving from work, or you're driving to work. You don't want to read a book. It's better. There's space for it, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't.
Any book?
No, I'm trying to buy some books. I'm not sure if you know Michael Parenti. He's a left-wing professor. He died recently, but I'm trying to. Very recently.
What does he write about?
He usually writes about American. Kind of how right-wing and left-wing forces control the culture market, and that's why, and kind of the root cause of culture wars essentially, and why Americans tend to view the political landscape as one side or the other, when in reality it's been gamified, like we've said, or the market's already been set in stone, and how we basically break that narrative and come up with and kind of advocating for arts and independent thinking as the means of escaping this partisan narrative or partisan way of thinking.
It's crazy how there's so many books about what the real distinction is between left wing and right wing. I don't know if you ran across books like that, but they basically boil down to people are leftist because they're smart, people are right because they're dumb, and then other people will say people are leftist because they're empathetic, people are right wing because they're not. It's always like a over. Which is like the point, which is to simplify, but they're always oversimplifications of why. Yeah.
Something kind of sidetracked. I've always found it funny when Republicans write books or right-wingers write books, because I think the stereotype, I hate to say this, the stereotype is true that right-wingers don't read. So I always wonder who the market is for that. You know, who's reading this, and how do these people have this amount of influence sharing these thoughts, when I feel that reading in general is almost seen as a liberal practice, or it is a liberal art, but
I do think that more liberal people do read, but still, I don't think the majority of them read though. Like, just people in general don't really read, I think.
Right. Yeah, I don't read. You know what I mean? I don't like reading. Yeah, people don't really read. I read out of boredom. That's how bored my life is.
The only thing I like reading is New York Times articles.
And the only thing I do is Wordle, dude. Oh. I used to love
the crosswords.
Yeah, too. The crosswords. Yeah. I used to love having a fucking paid subscription for the crossword.
Yeah. You canceled yours?
Yeah, I canceled mine. I haven't renewed it. They've given me offers, but I'm not.
Really?
Yeah.
I lost my debit card.
Oh, dude.
So I thought I was paying for it.
Curtains for you, dude.
And then I opened it and it just paywalled me, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. I didn't update my payment information.
All right, dude. Looks like we've got 5 minutes left. Anything else you want to say?
Yes. Shout out to my coworkers who are listening to this.
Your coworkers who are listening to this. Yeah. Shout out to the people I love who are listening to this.
Not the haters.
All
the hate listeners.
Yeah. All none of you. Follow CJ Super Serious Podcast on Instagram. I think we're on Spotify now.
Spotify. Yeah, yes.
YouTube. Sorry guys, I know this one was a little too serious. We'll get a little silly in the next one.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
We gotta average out.
Yeah. Also, apologies for my dog and his toys. All episodes. Anything else you want to say?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
All right, guys. See you.
All right. See you next week.